Freddie Powell's 1939 Leapin' Lizzie. It's a Ford, and there is the paint job on the door.
With a supercharged Chevrolet under the hood. It is definitely lime green.
Ford cab, Chevy engine, lime green paint job, and fearless Freddie behind the wheel. Kind of eased into it off the start and then made it work maybe about 20 feet down the track.
A very good job of driving. Freddie's kind of watching what's going on, and I think he did a great job. He's a heavy equipment operator. When he's not handling this heavy equipment.
What would heavy equipment be?
Oh, Caterpillar, earth movers, track hose. Let's watch the big motor come to life. Says he's got 1,000 horsepower. Might have a little more than that. Easing into it, just a little bit at a time, breaking the tires loose, calls for the horsepower. There's the butterflies open, but he is trucking with it. Front tires setting out quite a bit further apart than the rear tires, and down towards the finish line, the old 39 knows it's got a hold of something. And says that's all for the Leaping Lizard. A good job, though.
Freddie Powell of Grange, Kentucky. Leapin' Lizzie leaps to a full of 135 feet and 6 inches tonight. Freddie Grange should be happy with that. Well, here is the Valley Shaker. This truck comes from Georgetown, Kentucky, home to another famous puller by the name of Alan Gaines. Tonight behind the wheel is Jackie Sewell. Sometimes we see Ted Sharp, Butch to his friends, behind the wheel, but tonight it's Jackie Sewell who will drive. And Jackie, the impresario, will drive with the cigar in his mouth.
Jackie
thinks he's George Burns.
He doesn't seem to be worried about this, does he?
No, he light it up. And probably a fine cigar, too.
Don't worry about it.
Here it is.
Roll the slack out of the chain and just kind of take it easy. You know he's had a good pull if the other end the cigar's gone.
That's right.
Or it's shorter.
I think we need to point out we don't recommend doing this at home when you pull.
Exactly.
Try with
There's the mark.
The valley shakes, the mountains roar, and Jackie Sewell has driven it out the door.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Just a super pull. Mike Galloway, the cigar must be the magic wand.
Look at this one. Calls for the motor, and it is going its way. We're going to see a lot of good pulling tonight.
There it is, and I'm sorry, you just got to like a guy who drives with a cigar in his mouth. Pulling vehicles that's ever been on a track. This is the Orange Blossom Special. Maybe the root of everything that Alan Gaines has ever done. Alan Gaines owns it. It's Kalen Dews who gets the chore of driving it tonight, but that is the original.
Oldest competing pulling truck in America.
There is a great shot of Kalen almost on cue. Opens the door and he says, "I'm a smart guy. That's why
I forgot my helmet."
Oh.
Now look at his shoes. Look down at his shoes. They're gone.
No, well, that's an Alan Gaines trick because Alan doesn't drive with shoes.
And I believe he just got Mike Hoff's helmet.
You know, Alan will probably tell him, probably get home, and Alan's going to say now, "Kalen, what's the deal? How come you left town without your helmet?"
He's got it. I think he just got a little excited. Forgot it. Listen to this truck.
The door too, and we will have a pull-off.
Wheels are spinning and the girls are grinning, but the Orange Blossom Special cooking outside.
I'll tell you what, Kalen Dews says, I might have a borrowed helmet, and I may not have any shoes, but I sure know how to stand on it.
He'll shift this truck right there, puts it in the high side, leaves the second, and trucks right out the gate into the pull-off.
It's a full pull for the OBS. And 2 trucks now have qualified for the big enchilada. So right now we have 2 trucks in the pull-off, the Valley Shaker and the Orange Blossom Special. They have both gone the full distance, 150 feet, and maybe now, Ron Keel from Chelsea can go the full distance himself. He's got this 80 Dodge, just under 500 cubic feet. It's called the Twister. Chelsea, Michigan.
Supercharged Hemi.
It is supercharged. There's a good shot of Ron, too.
498 cubic inches. In gear. Horsepower.
Now, he was twisting it down the track, too. I think you could see, and we will see on the replay, how he was working the wheel, looking for the right space, the right place for those tires to bite.
Big blown Hemi eases out of the starting line area. Untracks the horsepower. Still just moving into it. Moving in. Hasn't opened up the butterfly. Now he's going to go for the full throttle. Working his way around the track. Not enough there.
Mike, when you look at trucks on this circuit, you can look at classics all you want, but you can look no further than this. There was a class of trucks, a line of trucks built back in the 30s called the Diamond T's, and of course we all know that they're not around anymore, except for this one. It's a beautiful truck Eddie Tal has.
Rich truck.
Very rich truck. Beautiful truck. I would call that color, and we see them hooking them on now, but kind of a plum-colored truck. Bought the truck in 1983, said it was all rusted out. The frame and the lights are original on this truck, and he says that he has people, one guy in particular, a Kentucky State Trooper, will drive up to 300 miles to see him pull.
You're going to find out why. He owns a trucking company. He's been doing it for 12 years. 1988 Kentucky State Points champion. Built it in 10 weeks. Here's Mr. Diamond T.
For the Mr. Diamond T. The Mr. Diamond T. I mean, really, Mike, you don't see a lot of Diamond T's anywhere anymore. This is maybe one of the few left.
Very possible. That truck didn't sound just right on the end of that pull when it popped back. A little bit of a problem. Let's take a listen on the end of that pull. It may have just leaned out. Sounds great here. He shifts the truck. Momentum. There he shifts. Now listen to it right on the end. Oh! Here the two backfires out of the left bank, and that's not good. Just leaned it out a little bit.
Well, here is a truck from Mantua, Ohio. This is Phil Carlton and Philly's Paycheck. And I think one of the reasons why it's called Philly's Paycheck is because more than one of Phil's paychecks has gone to pay for this. A gorgeous truck, though, Mike.
Beautiful. Farmer by, well, I don't know if you'd call farming a profession right now.
He grows soybeans, I can tell you that. And this is a 77 Chevy. Great look at the hook. Been alluding to that all night.
Automatic trans, and he needs the full pull. The 160 mark will set him into the pull-off.
Oh, he lost power at the end.
Now, they will, first thing they're going to do is check to see if the kill switch was pulled. If the kill switch pulls,
now, if it did pull, would he get to go again?
he would get a repull. If the kill switch is still intact,
That's what they're checking right now.
then
Why would the kill switch be?
any number of things could have happened.
He is not a happy man, and I think he's going to go back and take a look at it.
Not a happy camper, and he doesn't even go back to the kill switch. He knows there's problems beyond that.
So whatever the problem was, it was something in Philly's paycheck, and undoubtedly the next paycheck that Phil Carlton gets will go to fix it. Mike, let's take a look at this run right from the start.
Truck looks good, sounds good.
like that.
Just like you shut the fire off.
Well, we were supposed to have a pull-off between the Valley Shaker and the Orange Blossom Special, but a funny thing happened on the way to the sled. The Valley Shaker blew its transmission out. Maybe some of that cigar smoke from Jackie's tool filtered into the engine. In any event, the winner of the Super Modified competition by default of the Valley Shaker engine is the Orange Blossom Special. Center field on the 6th tonight. These are the trucks that have qualified for the pull-off with full pulls. Dusty Rose, Wildfire, Southern Belle, maybe Red Hot, and this truck, Maximum. Here's Maximum. Jerry Bergman behind the wheel. First truck tonight in the pull-off from Plymouth, Iowa. 84 Chevy, 572 cubic inches. And he will try now to go the full distance. And with the three-weighted sled, that will be tough. Different tune in the pull-off. Huh?
Did they re-weight the sled? The box is already up at the top, and they did it in a hurry? Wow, this is one of the two Chevrolets, 4 Fords, 2 Chevrolets qualified for this pull-off.
Now, that might not have looked like a great pull, but it may be good enough to win.
Well, it's very possible, Ken, and he knew when he went to the sled that there's re-weighting it. You know, it's going to be heavier.
Now, does his strategy change with the re-weighted sled?
Oh, yes, you've got to try to get everything you're going to get, you know, before that box gets to a dragging weight. While it's still in that rolling position, you know, it's coming up the ramp no matter how fast you're going. So you want that first 30 feet, you want it as quick and hard as you can charge. And that's what he did. He went with it on this kind of track with everything he had right out of the starting line.
Now, I don't understand when you say you re-weighted the sled. They like threw, you know, a couple of thousand more pounds on it?
No, not really, Ken. In this situation, the box operates through a series of gears and transmission. The further you pull it down the track, the further the box comes up the ramp, transferring it from a rolling weight to a dragging weight.
Right.
What they've done is gone up a gear. In other words, the box will now go up the ramp faster, transferring it from a rolling weight to a dragging weight much quicker, making it a lot harder to pull, as we just...
Here's an illustration of what you were talking about. In the pull-off, Maximum goes 155 feet, roughly 35 feet, shorter than what he got in the first round. So you can see the difference in the weight transfer here in our first pull-off of the night. Here's Red Hot, Gary Saline. He qualified 2 trucks for the pull-off. This is the 87 Ford Ranger, and he went the full distance, obviously, in the opening round tonight. Saline, an excellent driver, and it will be interesting now to see what he tries to do. He chose the near side of the track with Wildfire, qualified that with a full pull, and it appears that he's using the near side of the track again here in the pull-off with Red Hot.
Gary Saline, as we talked about several times, is an excellent driver. I would, you know, venture to put him up against about anyone. Now, Gary is one of the first 4-wheel drive pullers that memory serves me right that was using a hand throttle. A lot of the drivers for a number of years used a foot throttle.
Right.
But Gary started out using a hand throttle in his Wildfire truck, and it worked well for him. We have since then seen a number of drivers convert over to hand throttle. It's a much smoother operation.
Well, it leaves your feet free, that's for sure.
Let's see what he does now.
Mike, a good pull that will beat the 155 that Maximum did, but he did not come as close to the line as he did in Wildfire in the preliminary run.
If it did, in fact, beat the Maximum truck,
I'm guessing, but I think he did.
it's going to be just a matter of inches. And I feel like he did, too. He may have bumped it up just a touch. Gary Saline has gone to school. He's not someone that pulls this truck and goes and sits down and waits for his turn again. He studies this track. He keeps track of what's going on. This is a beautiful job. He's in the motor early out of the hole. He's getting that hole shot that we have talked about. He's trying to get all the ground speed he can get. Look at the box coming up the ramp. It is right up on top of it. See the big green light, everything's operating, but the weight is on top of Red Hot at that point, and it's almost impossible.
Maximum by 2 feet and 7 inches, 157 feet and 7 inches. So Saline now becomes the mark to beat in the pull-off. Well, there you see a nice shot of the weights on the front end of these 4-wheel drive trucks, and I guess that's essential when you have so much weight behind you.
Maximum weight on these vehicles is 6,200 pounds. The static weight is 4,500 pounds. So the basic idea, make the truck weigh 4,500 pounds, and then put all of that other weight on the nose. Get it right out in front. The sled will take care of the traction on the rear tires, but you've got to be able to glue the nose of the truck into the ground to get bite on all four tires.
Now you say 6,200 pounds and 45 static. Does that mean there's 1,700 pounds of weight on the front end of that truck?
Most of the pullers would like to have that much weight on the front of it. Not all of them have that, but a lot of them would love to have that.
Well, here is Maybe Baby, who was a big definite in the first round tonight. Now in the pull-off, will try to go farther than 157 feet and 7 inches. This is Wyman Travis. Wyman and his wife, Loretta, qualifying for the Wyman Travis in the pull-off. Hey, a nice pull.
Beautiful pull.
Nice
knocked
pull.
on the door. Got close.
Well, look at here. We got ourselves a new leader, Maybe Baby, 157 feet and 10 inches. And Mike, you don't have to be a wizard to know that beats the mark by 3 inches. So now Wyman Travis jumps to the front here in the pull-off.
I think it was great. I mean, I'll tell you what, I was wrong. You know, my vantage point looked like he was a little short, but he was 3 over, and that's a mile in this sport.
That's right. So the Maybe Baby is now the truck to beat. Well, here it is, the pride of Pocahontas, Illinois, the Southern Belle. Gerald Amon behind the wheel, and we will see if the Southern Belle can dance at the debutante ball. The pull-off underway here, and the mark to beat, 157 feet and 10 inches.
Gerald said, I deserve to win this. As much trouble as I've had getting here. Had the brakes go out on his hauler, started missing in his hauler, and he has had all kinds of problems getting here this weekend. He said, I've got to make it worth my time. I need to win this one real bad.
Well, we'll see if the Southern Belle can dance to the big dance. It's got the green flag, and it shoots for the stars. Mike, I'll say that's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Now, it goes to show you the consistency of the pullers and the sled.
Very fine line that separates these drivers.
Anytime you've got 6 drivers that go the full pull mark, and then they come back, hook to the sled again with a reweighted weight, and they're all coming up within 2 or 3 feet of each other. It's very close pulling, Ken Bruce.
Well, there's the Southern Belle driving off, and now the measuring team will go to work to see if it equaled the leader in the pull-off competition right now, Maybe Baby. Nice pull, though, here from the Southern Belle.
Well, he does. Gerald leaves good, but watch him come to the right-hand side of the track. Actually turns the tires, readjusts the truck about midstream, see if he can get some more footage out of it. It looks good. Everything seems to be working well, and it's down to the real critical point. He needs to go 157.10. You know, the tie 157.10 and a quarter to take the lead, and it's going to be real close, Ken.
Well, not quite enough for the Southern Belle, 154 feet and 3 inches. The Southern Belle will curtsy and move off the stage. 157 feet and 10 inches, the mark to beat. The Wildfire is Gary Saline's last kick at the dirt. Red Hot did not equal it. Maybe this 79 Ford has got it in it to take the lead here in the pull-off. Maybe.
I think he might have a good shot at it.
Now, interesting strategy. The Wildfire, in the preliminary round, lined up on the near side.
Right-hand side.
Played chicken with the white line and won. Now, Saline has lined up on the far side of the track. Why would he do that?
He has seen that the left-hand side of the track probably getting a little more packing than the right-hand side. Maybe the right-hand side of the track, there's been more pulls going down it since he qualified for this. So he'll go all the way to the left. Far side of the track, he's seen the packer go down through there maybe 4 times. He's watched all of these things, took them all into consideration. You can bet that right now that is the place to be